Hello and welcome to Country Sports TV and Somerset News Network. I'm now putting these gardening videos on both channels, so it's a joint effort and covering two bases. Now we're on lockdown. We've been shut up now for 3 weeks. Food's now being delivered to us, we're not allowed out, and we've decided that we better get the garden going. It took me the first week to clean out the greenhouse. It was so bad I am ashamed to put it on video. When I built my new workshop, all the old tools that were my grandfather's, he was a stonemason, so there was chisels and hammers and all sorts of things, and gardening tools, and I just threw them in this greenhouse, thinking, we're buying food now, we're not growing it, not really fit enough to dig the ground. But once we had the shutdown, Pat went to the supermarket and all the shelves were bare. What do you do if you're a gardener and you've got a market garden and you've been gardening all your life? Grow your own. That's what we're doing. So during the shutdown, we are growing our own food. The first one, I was putting seeds in, and as you can see, we cut a number of oil drums in half and filled them with compost. We've done 3 drums so far. We've got one with the Charlotte new potatoes in, the first earlies, and then 2 with the Desiree, which is the reddish pinkish coloured ones. Now that leaves us with 5 drums left. What we're going to do with those is put runner beans in, French beans and peas, and maybe mix the vegetables up, because you can put things in with runner beans, because runner beans grow up and that leaves you soil around the bottom, so we may be able to put a squash in, or smaller French beans in, or maybe your root vegetables, your carrots and your beetroots, but I've got to work that out. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do with that. Now on the table here, I've got a number of seeds left over. All we've paid for is 2 bags of cheap compost, which were £1 each, and we've bought a number of seeds, which cost us about £1 a packet. So we spent about £10 in all, because money is now tight. Being self-employed on the new government scheme, I won't get any money now until June. So money's tight and we're on grow your own. What we've got is, we got some runner beans left, we got some French beans, got some peas, got mixed broad beans, French beans and peas, we've got some mixed vegetables, and we got tomatoes and radishes. What we're going to do is, as you can see on the video now, that the seeds are now growing. These I planted 10 days ago when I did the first video. I've put the mixed French dwarf beans, we've got runner beans and peas, they're growing. We've also planted some more broad beans over there. And over here, on the stacking, we have onions and lettuces. As you can see, the lettuces are now just beginning to show. And we've got beetroot up. I didn't think the beetroot would grow in the little pots, but it seems they love it. And we've also put in some tomatoes and some more lettuce leaves. I've grown more than I need, and I'm hoping that we can do some bartering with it, or maybe cash sales to bring some money in. Don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to play that by ear. what I thought we'd do is plant some more dwarf French beans, which could even go under the runner beans if we do them in the pots. Some runner beans and peas. Peas could also go in there. I'm going to have to work it out and see what I'm going to do. Remember all the bits that we had left over from sieving the fine stuff out? What we do is we put that in the pots to start with, to bulk it out, because when it gets wet it'll all mulch down together anyway. And then we put our fine potting compost on the top, just level them up. As you can see, you only get a few in a packet, so what you do is just spread them on the top, spread them out evenly. All we're doing is keeping them in the greenhouse now so that they germinate. That's your peas, French beans that'll grow, push them round a bit, give them a bit of space so they can grow a bit. And what we're doing with the runner beans is spacing them out. We'll put 5 or 6 in each pot, that's all. Five in each pot. There's only 10 seeds in this one. There was more in the last one, I think. And then just lightly cover them with the potting compost. And then the most important thing is to water them in. As the compost is quite dry, fill the pot right up to the top and let it soak through. And then just keep it moist as time goes on. And that concludes our little video in the garden part 2. We'll be potting some of them out later on. We just got to wait for things to grow. You know, you can't be, you know, you've got little things to do in the garden, and there was things I've planted up in the last couple of days, but it's not really been worth showing you a video, me doing one tray of seeds. I'll show you what happens when they all come up. Anyway, if you want to get your gardening going, now's the time to do it. If you can dig some ground over and then plant some seeds, and by the time the seeds come up and they become plants you can plant out, you can then rake the garden over and put them in, or do it in pots and tubs like we are. I'm not fit enough to dig the garden at the moment, so everything is going to be in tubs and pots, as you can see, and we will grow your own. That's the only way we can get through this. I don't think we can rely on the government to supply us with food, because we don't know what's going to happen in other countries. You know, most of the borders are closed. They're allowing food to go through, but it's now limited. How long is it going to continue? I honestly don't know the answer. You know, the farmers are saying they haven't got the Europeans over to pick the vegetables that we need for the supermarkets, and they're now calling for a land army. Well, my way of thinking, being a countryman, is we've always worked on the farms anyway. When I was a kid, we did haymaking, we did spud picking, we did strawberry picking, and it helped us raise some cash as kids. Bought a new push bike with one year. Because the Europeans come over here, they were working under gangmasters, so the farmer may necessarily not be paying national wage. He gives the gangmaster the money for picking a crop, and what does he give the workers? but they weren't on minimum wage, which is what they're going to have to do if they get a land army. You know, because I don't think people will volunteer to work without being paid. Anyway, Ian Summerall, Country Sports TV, and Somerset News Network combined in the garden. Keep your spirits up, and we'll get through this.